Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is In Search of Gil Scott-Heron, the Godfather of Rap. So this is by Thomas Maucéri and then Sébastien Piquet. And it's a fascinating graphic novel. I will say straight up, I do not know tons about Gil Scott-Heron. Listening to his music beforehand, there are things I recognize, but I'm not a name that is gonna roll off my tongue. That music I necessarily listen to all the time, or really listen to ever. And that seems to be sort of a theme throughout this graphic novel. So the story is about this French director and the writer of this, Thomas Maucéri, and he wants to do a documentary about Gil Scott-Heron. Scott-Heron is a musician, a poet, and you can see through his works how he basically laid the groundwork for modern day rap. He had lyrical flows that rivaled anyone today, with a social consciousness that you could see influence groups like Public Enemy. He really is kind of like the early days of the DNA of modern rap. What's interesting also is that Gil Scott-Heron himself felt that he was, I think, calls himself like a bluesologist, and carrying on the tradition of music through the African-American community, telling stories and passing on information through music. So there's a really fascinating history that's explored through this, and it's kind of like the point of the graphic novel. It takes us through Gil Scott-Heron's life, but also what was going on at the time, gives us kind of a better sense of the songs. In between chapters is kind of a breakdown of a song that was kind of important during that time, good, bad. Like there's some stuff where it was just like, hey, this track wasn't up to snuff type of comments, which is, I think, really interesting. And then the story itself with the filmmaker, he is attempting to do this for years. And with the election of Barack Obama, he wants to kind of get it fast-tracked because he thinks it's a really interesting discussion of Gil Scott-Heron's message along with Obama being elected. But it takes so long, it's not until Donald Trump is elected that he finally gets the documentary going. Unfortunately, it's at the end of the life of Gil Scott-Heron. Now, I know you're going to sit there and be like, spoiler. It's not really spoiler. It literally kind of opens up the graphic novel that this filmmaker, along with a mutual friend of theirs, are the ones who have to go make the calls to Gil Scott-Heron's friends and break the bad news. It is a really interesting graphic novel. I think a fantastic introduction to the person. And it does, I think, a fine balance of diving into albums and songs and really telling you why these are important without, I think, overloading a lot of information. It is the story of Gil Scott-Heron told through someone else's perspective. This is not like an autobiography, or I guess not really autobiography, but biography. It is about this filmmaker attempting to do a documentary about him. And like the people that some of the people that he came in contact with and trying to get this going, and through all that discussing why this is an important musician. It's good. It's really good. I mean, it's one that again, I didn't know much about him, so like learning about all this I thought is kind of fascinating. The other interesting is there's some like really profound things, and I think it's interesting in that you kind of see a perspective of what I'll call like the old school radical, not really radical, old school more empowered members of the African-American community, compared to some of the younger folks that are kind of talked to, especially at the end when Donald Trump is elected. Someone says this a very profound statement. He's like, we're just arguing that Black Lives Matter. It's no longer Black Power. And to me, that just hit me. Like, that's a hell of a statement. And it's the type of stuff here. And at the end, when it really kind of gets down to when they're about to do these interviews and you kind of know what's coming, it really changes things perspective-wise. And I think that's kind of part of what's really fascinating about this graphic novel, in that it takes you through this history, through this musician, and shows, how, I don't say ahead of his time, but like how important his message was, and just what he did was important. So yeah, really, really interesting introduction. I mean, this is a one that you're going to get like the nitty gritty of Gil Scott-Heron's wife, partially because they never really talk. Like, this is a thing. They never sit down. There's a tragedy about all this. But like, I think it is an excellent place to start to learn why this person's important, why he matters. Really, really good. I showed off the art. I think the art's really cool. I like the style. Has a very kind of like European graphic novel vibe about it all. So highly recommend it. I think it's top-notch stuff. You can go get it. It is out now. Hit up your comic shop. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. It'll tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so you do get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site. So thank you. And I want to thank Titan Comics for hooking us up with this review copy. And of course, thank you all for watching. If you are into comics, if you're into graphic novels, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.